most recently we've had the New Orleans Jesters, who took last season off, but were planning to play this season. And, of course, COVID-19 intervened and said that's not happening, unfortunately. Jesters are still an organization, and they're putting on camps right now. Joining us to talk about that and soccer as a whole is our good and great friend Kenny Farrell. Kenny, great to have you with us. I hope you're well.
Oh, good to hear your voice, Kenny. Thanks for having us on.
Okay, so camps. Let's talk about that first. Talk about the camps that are going on and if there's spots open and how people can get involved.
Yeah, there's spots open. We've been doing, basically skills training, social distancing. We're employing all that stuff, groups of 9 and a coach for each group. And it's been outdoors on the fly with, we're partnered with Carrollton Boosters. It's been going extremely well. And people are enjoying getting their kids outside, I think, in the sun during the daytime. And it's been going very, very well. We have spots. We have another couple of weeks up by the river bend, up by the fly. And we've also got some going indoor at Junction Play Sports, which is an indoor facility in Elmwood Park. So the way to get there is just to go through our website and go to the Youth Academy and then go through camps. And you'll get all the information online there. But very, very successful so far. Really enjoying them. Great having the kids out there running around, learning their skills again.
Excellent. Well, of course, we encourage people to do it. It's a great opportunity. You still see great interest on the youth level in soccer?
Oh, there's no question. Yeah, there's great interest in the game. Yeah, I think we're getting better at developing players as well. It's always been my ambition to get as many local players as possible through to the highest levels as possible. And if they can't get there, then they become the best players in their high schools or their clubs and stuff like that. But that's still continuing. We've got some great talent coming through right now. In fact, Ken, if we had been playing again this season, I had signed a couple of players that were local, that were 17 years old, that I thought would have, started pushing themselves into the team, which has always been my ambition, is to get those players in. As you well know, Patrick Mullins plays in the MLS, and he played for us for a good few years and started when he was very young, and so did Andrew Tarbell. And, I just keep an eye out for that talent, and they're the players we want to put through the system and create the local, I call it local pathway, and having the MPSL team on the field, it's very tangible. It's right there. People can see it. They know it's possible. And they've seen players do it before. No matter what club they came from, youth club, whether it was ours or somebody else's, or what high school, they could go through this system, and it does bring a very high profile to them. And if they can be successful in it, there is an opportunity for them to move on to the very top in Major League Soccer. So, yeah. So it's, really looking forward to the team being back on the field this year. And, things happen. We'll regroup, and we'll come back very strong next year. I think we had a really squad put together, and there was a lot of energy and excitement about it coming up, and it just fell away, especially having taken the year off the year before. There was so much energy and so much positive feedback from people just for the fact that we're putting the team back on the field, that it was disappointing. But, however, these things happen. We'll be back next year, and we'll go again.
Website's NOLAJesters.com. Kenny Farrell with us for a few more minutes. All right, so we look at Major League Soccer right now. Of course, they were shut down. Unfortunately, they're going to play.
Yeah.
And people are building facilities. St. Louis built a fantastic facility. They get a team.
Yes.
And is there ever any chance of something like that happening here?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, and there is a good possibility of that happening if things align correctly. And, there's a lot of interest in the city right now. They think we're one of when I say they, a lot of the bigger leagues in the MPSL, USL particularly, consider us one of the best markets left out there for that level. And I think that's championship level, which is right underneath Major League Soccer. I think there's a possibility of it. There's certainly movement around the nation, and if you listen to radio shows that are soccer specific, that are national, or they'll tell you that the surveys tell them that New Orleans is hot property or market number one for them right now. So there's people hovering around, and we'll just see what happens. I think it would be fantastic. I think it would be a great success, if everything could be put together. You need the right facilities. You need the right owners. But I think there's a really good possibility that could happen in the near future.
Final thought: we know U.S. women's soccer is in a great place, winning World Cups and everything else, and the fight for equal pay, and I get that completely, and I support them certainly. Men's soccer, are we in a better place now? What's the U.S. national soccer picture look like for the men at this point?
Yeah, so we're rebooting, right? We're coming through with some players that are playing in Europe and young players playing over there, starting to impress in European leagues. We've, certainly got a couple of players, and that could end up being world class, and we need that to be successful at the national level. There was a drop off. There was a tremendous disappointment at not making the last World Cup finals, as you well know. And maybe the players were getting a little bit older. I think it was a little unlucky because, people that watch it closely know that there was some bad decisions in that last game and some other games that they didn't get through on. But having said that, in this region of the world, the men's team needs to be making the World Cup final. And I think with the new players coming through and still being 3 years off, that these players will be matured. Pulisic is obviously the one that comes to mind, and then Claudio Reyna's kid, that who used to be a former national player, who's making an impact in Germany now, and is only 17 years old, is starting to make an impact. There's some good players coming through. I think we'll make the World Cup finals comfortably. But the team needs time to grow. They need the nation behind them. They need the press behind them. They don't need any turmoil within the system right now. And I think they'll make it, and I think they've got a good I think over the next 3 to 7 years, if we're patient with the next year or so as the players develop, I think we could have a strong side, and I think it'll look good going forward. It doesn't look too good right now, when you look at what they, missing out in the World Cup finals and, not getting certain results against Mexico and, struggling sometimes against Canada and stuff like that. I think the future's bright, though. So I would be in the corner of, I think we're going to be good going forward.
Go to NOLAJesters.com. That's the website. Find out more about camps, find out more about the Jesters, more about soccer in general. And we appreciate you, Kenny, joining us tonight. Keep up the good work, and let's hope we're talking about some soccer on the playing field here in the very near future in the New Orleans area.
Yeah, that would be great. Thanks very much, Ken.
You got it, buddy. Thank you. It's Kenny Farrell.